Happy day 10 of Bookmas. Yesterday, we talked about my favorite fantasy series from this year, and today we're going to talk about my favorite rom-com or romance series of this year. Hey everyone, my name's Amanda, and I'm the Fun Size Reader, and I read a lot of romance too. A lot of romance. I mean, fantasy romance is generally what I read. There pretty much is always a romance line, but I read a lot of rom-coms, a lot of romances. I'm usually like a happily ever after kind of person. I like happy endings. I don't like sobbing in romance books. There are a lot of romance books. Trust me, I love Colleen Hoover too. I read her before she exploded on TikTok. But sometimes her books are just too emotional. So I tend to steer towards books that are going to make me happy rather than books that are going to make me cry. A ton of the rom-coms or romance books that I read this year are standalones, but I do love it when romance authors will continue on with their characters in subsequent books. That's what makes me call it a series. Like, the plots are not necessarily connected, but we already know the world, we already know some of the people, and we're getting their story next. So here are some of my favorite rom-com romance series from 2022. This year, Tessa Bailey gave us the second book in the Bellinger sisters series, Hook, Line, and Sinker. Now, I loved the first book, It Happened One Summer, that we got last year. So I was really, really excited to read Fox and Hannah's story. And I just love these sweet covers. Like, I love these covers so much. Her covers have been on point lately, and these ones are perfect for these characters. While I did love the first book better, I did still really like the second book with Hannah and Fox. They are super fast, spicy rom-coms. And there is only 2 in this series, so it is a duology. She is done with the Bellinger sisters. But if you are familiar with Tessa at all, you know that she is constantly cranking books out. So, like, we have more coming. As she would say, no pun intended. Tessa would say that, okay? My husband's laughing at me. I am a hoe for a hockey romance, okay? I love hockey romances. I really hope they're not gonna all start blending together, but I did start multiple hockey series this year. One of them is finished. One of them I only read book 1, and those are the 2 series that I'm gonna talk about right now. So the first one is the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy. I, this year, read The Deal and The Mistake. I believe there are 5 of them total, and they follow different members of the hockey team, but we do get to meet those members in the other books. So, like, you really start to feel like you know the team. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love them, because all of the teammates have different personalities and you just want to see them get their love story. And it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. Plus, the hockey players tend to be pretty protective, which is one of the things I like in romance books. These I really loved. And I know I'm going to have to go read all of the rest of them, but I'm kind of like saving them for a rainy day, like saving them for a slump. When I know I need something that can get me out of it, these are perfect for that. Dare I say, a perfect palate cleanser. The other hockey book that I thoroughly enjoyed this year, as did so many of you, is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Now, don't get fooled by the cute cover. This book is spicy and it is long. It is not really one that I would consider a palate cleanser because you are deep in this world. But this is another one where you just get to know the teammates so well and you care about them and you just want to know what happens with their life and their love. The first book just came out, so I have no idea yet when the second one is coming, but I definitely will be continuing with this series because I love the first one so much. For those of you who don't like hockey, you should, but if you want to try a different sport, one of my favorite go-to authors on Kindle Unlimited, and she's all over my bookstore as well, is Lauren Asher. And I read 2 of her romance series this year. Not all of the series. If you saw my video yesterday, you know that I am the worst at finishing series The same goes for romance series. So I have not finished either of these yet. One we're still waiting on. Okay, we're still waiting on it, so it's not my fault. But if you like Formula One racing, you should definitely look at the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. Book 1 is Throttled, and it is kind of a not brother's best friend, it's brother's enemy, but they're on the same team. So it's kind of enemies to lovers, but there's a brother connection in there too. And it's a secret romance. So it's really fun. I loved it. Formula One racing is not something that I'm familiar with. So it was really enjoyable just getting to see something else that wasn't the same hockey romances that I keep reading. But what about if you love Billionaires? Billionaire romance has gotten super popular. I had never read any besides 50 Shades of Grey, if you can call that a billionaire romance. And when I found out that this series was inspired by The Happiest Place on Earth, I had to read it. The Dreamland Billionaires series by Lauren Asher. I have read the first 2 books and I'm anxiously awaiting the 3rd book, which comes out in January. This is a romance series about 3 brothers who are set to inherit their grandfather's fortune, but he kind of has stipulations on things that they need to accomplish before they can get their inheritance. And it all has to do with running his park, Dreamland, the way the grandfather wants it to run. And in the process, they find love. The first book is a forbidden romance between workplace romance with your boss. The second one is kind of the same, but it's more of a marriage of convenience. The third one, I think, is set to be a second chance romance. So we get 3 completely different stories, which is really fun. These do tend to be a little spicy, so be prepared. And finally, my last one that I did not know was going to be a series. Literally, in preparing for this video, I found out that this was going to be a series. I thought it was going to be a standalone book. And I'm trying in my head to figure out how it's going to be a series. Who are we going to follow next? Are there different kingdoms? What is going to happen? I don't know, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. Think Princess Diaries meets 50 Shades of Grey, and you get Royally Not Ready by Megan Quinn. This book is legitimately Princess Diaries meets 50 Shades of Grey. It is the Princess of Genovia, but it's not Genovia, shows up to go get her princess lessons, and the guy that has to teach her is very cute. Like I said, I have no idea how this is going to be a series, but I'm here for it. I really liked Megan's writing. It was really enjoyable. I flew through it. Very spicy. She hit me hard with the spice. I had no idea the book was going to be that spicy. So now I know how to prepare myself for her books. But just a warning, if you're looking for spice and you loved watching the Princess Diaries growing up, check out this book. Ooh, I just found out that the next one is called Royally in Trouble and it comes out in June. So I wonder if it's the same characters. That might be fun. Not sure. I'll have to do some more research. I know I've talked about these books a ton, but I hope that they helped you kind of find a new series of romances to read. A lot of them still have books coming out, but there are quite a few that the series is completed. So if you're a binge reader, you can binge right through them. And don't forget, I have reviews for every single one of these books on my channel from everything that I read this year. There's a romance playlist, there's a spicy books playlist, there's a books with no spice playlist. Whatever you are looking for in the romance category, I got you covered. And if I don't, leave me a comment. Tell me something that you're looking for, and I will try to see what I can find. Thanks for stopping on day 10 of Bookmas with me. Hope you had fun learning about some more romance series, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Don't forget, you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at The Fun Size Reader. See you guys next time.